All right, let's jump right into this explainer and build out a high-yield study guide for your GS Paper 3 Indian Economy prelims. Today, we're focusing squarely on the market intervention scheme. Look, if you're prepping for civil service exams, you already know how absolutely crucial it is to have crystal clear concepts when it comes to government economic policies, right? So this explainer is designed to completely cut through the noise and give you exactly what you need to know, structured perfectly for your revision.
To kick things off, we've got to ask ourselves a very real, very pressing question. What actually happens to farmers when they face massive excess production and a sudden, devastating price crash? Picture this. A farmer has a fantastic yield, an absolute bumper crop of perishable goods. But instead of celebrating, they're in full panic mode because the market is suddenly flooded and prices have absolutely plummeted. How on earth does the system protect them from losing everything? Keep that scenario in the back of your mind as we unpack the solution. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, defining the market intervention scheme. Second, comparing MIS with MSP. Third, recent policy revisions explained. And finally, a real-world case study on potato procurement. Okay, let's hit Section 1, defining the market intervention scheme. So what is it, really? The fundamental takeaway here is that the market intervention scheme, or MIS, acts as a vital safety net. It is, at its core, a price insurance scheme. But here's the catch. It steps in specifically to support perishable crops. We're talking about your fruits, your vegetables, your spices. Its primary goal? Preventing distressed sales. When there's huge excess production and a bumper crop forces market prices to drop dangerously low, farmers might be forced to sell their perishables at a massive loss just to get rid of them before they rot. The MIS literally exists to stop that worst-case scenario from ever happening.
Moving right along to Section 2, comparing MIS with MSP.
Now this is where people get tripped up on exam day, so you really need to cement this distinction. While the minimum support price, the MSP, is designed as a price insurance scheme for major cereals like wheat and rice, the MIS strictly supports the perishables that fall outside that umbrella. If a crop is a major cereal covered by MSP, it is not an MIS crop. The MIS is specifically built for those highly vulnerable perishable goods that aren't covered under the standard MSP framework. Understanding this subtle difference is honestly the key to eliminating those tricky incorrect options in multiple choice questions.
Next up, Section 3, recent policy revisions explained.
Grab a mental highlighter for this one, 10%. The MIS isn't just running in the background all year round. It is only activated if market prices fall by at least 10% from the previous normal year. Examiners absolutely love to test this specific data point. It establishes a very clear, quantifiable threshold for exactly when the government decides, okay, an intervention is necessary to protect these farmers.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the government strategy is shifting. Alongside that 10% trigger, there are two other massive revisions you have to know. First, the MIS is now officially a component of the integrated PMAHS scheme. Second, and this is a real game changer, the implementation method has evolved. Instead of relying totally on the physical procurement of these rotting goods, states now have a much more streamlined option. They can just calculate the difference between the market intervention price, the MIP, and the actual selling price, and transfer that exact difference directly into the farmers' bank accounts. It's a massive shift toward direct support, completely bypassing the logistical nightmare of physically storing and moving highly perishable food. Let's bring this all together in Section 4, Case Study Potato Procurement. Just recently, the Union Agriculture Ministry had to step in to support potato farmers, explicitly activating the market intervention scheme. Think about it. Potatoes are a highly perishable crop. They aren't covered by MSP, so they perfectly fit the criteria we just broke down. The ministry made this announcement to stabilize the market and directly prevent those distressed sales, utilizing the MIS framework exactly how it was designed to be used.
We all know exam questions love exact figures, right? So lock this one in. They announced the procurement of exactly 20 lakh metric tons, or 20 LMT, of potatoes under the MIS. Having current affairs examples like this 20 LMT figure ready to go in your mind is exactly what elevates a good exam answer to a truly great one. It proves you don't just know the textbook definition, but you actually understand how the policy works in the real world.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on for your mains. Think about this. How does transferring price differences directly into farmers' bank accounts change the entire agricultural market dynamic compared to the government actually driving trucks out and physically procuring the crops? Does it reduce food waste? Does it completely alter the local supply chain? Pondering the downstream effects of this policy shift is exactly the kind of deep analytical thinking required to clear the main exam. So keep studying, keep asking those hard questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.